Good afternoon. The purpose of this video is to do a walk around of this sunroom to show all the miscellaneous holes throughout the entirety of the frame, as well as other signs of previous use. There are holes throughout the entire frame that show previous bolt usage for through bolts, as well as numerous holes from previous screw usage, showing deformity in the metal and whatnot, showing previous use and being previously torqued down. These holes existed prior to the frame arriving here and did not occur during the assembly of this room. It is my belief that these materials were reclaimed from a previous job or used for some other purpose and were then repurposed by Visi Construction to build this room. They were sold to me as new materials, and I believe that they are used. You can use this video to judge for yourself. I will do a walk around. So we will start with the outer 2x4 frame rails along with the 1x2 top rail above that. Then we will go to the inside of the building and do a walk around, and we will go from there. Alright, we will start to the far right. If you come down to the lower section, you see one through hole. Go up a little bit more. You see another through hole, and then a smaller one right next to it. You go along the top panel. Sorry for the glare. There is another through hole. Keep going along the top panel. There is another through hole. We come on over to here. You see not only one larger through hole, but 1, 2, 3 smaller ones. You come over to the side. You see another larger through hole. Another large through hole, another one, now we will go to the top frame rail, which you see there's one through hole, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's just in that upper piece. Now, if we look at the opposing side of those same tubes, we will see the opposite sides of the holes, this time with a little less glare. So you have the one through hole, partially visible on this side due to the door, but fully visible on the other side. And you come up, there's another through hole. Now we'll look to the top bar. You'll see there's a previously drilled hole for something there. Another oblong drilled hole from something. Another hole. There's another, another one here, a double drilled hole there, 2 more here, and 1 up there. We come down the side, here's 1 on there. Now that is only on the outer frame. If you go toward the inner frame, we will show here. So here I'll just use my fingers. So there's 1 hole, 2, 3, 4 holes just on that one beam on the one side. Then of course there's the matching on the other side. But every single one of these beams has these holes. And if you look around, you can see where it was torqued down because it's depressed into the metal. These weren't just drilled and not used, and they were not drilled at the manufacturer who made the original tube. Here's another hole, another, and you can see where it used a washer on it previously. You can see the circle around it. Some more. And this is consistent on every single one of these beams. And there's that one. It's a double drilled hole for some reason. And that is consistent across the manufacture of the entire thing. If you look onto this far wall here, we will go over. If you go to the top beam, you see all the cross-drilled holes. Again, there's 2 of them there. And then once again, on the 1x3s, you see holes here, here, here and there. Double ones here. There's a few more there. And look, there's some more. And that's consistent through the entire thing. Here, all along the window frame, here's more evidence that it was torqued down before. You can see where the washer was, and you can see where it was torqued down. Once again, same here, and same down there. And I won't bore you with the rest of it, but as you can see, every single one of those 1x3s in this entire building has all of the miscellaneous holes. And look how deformed this one is, of it being drilled through and torqued down. Same thing with this one. You can see where they tried to drill this or screw in the screw from one side, and they didn't even make it through the other side. Same thing here. This beam wasn't even a solid beam. They just didn't have the right length one, so they used 2 scrap pieces and welded it together. Every single beam in here is like that. The top beam on the other side, as you can see, it's consistently Swiss cheese metal. Now, in addition to all of these bolt holes everywhere, there's also evidence of previous welds and assembly. So we'll come up here and I'll show you that. So when you get up here to the top, you can see right here, there was something welded on there, a tab, and then cut and ground off. You can see the same here. You can see the same right there. And right here. Same goes for the other side. A bunch more. Now also, if you look at the center beam, you can see once again, scrap was used. And instead of using a solid length piece, they welded it in the center. Same as the beam down there. And that's not the usage of new materials. If you look at the roof 1x's as well, you can see the holes drilled through them as well. Double holes, single holes, everywhere. In the cross members of the truss, holes are everywhere. Every single beam in here shows evidence of use. Now, it could be understood that during the welding and assembly of the frame, a couple of holes could be drilled here or there to help with fixturing. However, that is not the case here. These are sporadic in somewhat of a pattern across it, and you can tell that this material was assembled elsewhere in a different configuration previously to being cut and welded to this one. That is unacceptable. That is not what was paid for. They advertised a new sunroom to be made from new materials. That is not what occurred here. This was reclaimed material, whether it was used at the beginning of a project and it was just not completed, then taken apart and reused, whether it was recycled from some other use, I do not know. But it is unacceptable to have this level of holes everywhere throughout the frame. It is not only unprofessional, it is wildly unethical to sell used or reclaimed material as new. Not even unethical, it's bordering on illegal. And if you do the walk around on that side of the building and the front, I'll refrain from getting a ladder currently, but if anybody would like to see it, I will get the ladder out and I will show you on the outside. You can see the holes are continuous over there as well.